The Aeronova hangar buzzed with tension. Engineers paced, tools clanked, and wires sprawled across the floor like tangled vines. At the center of it all sat the Falcon X9, a prototype jet engine unlike anything in the world. Sleek, futuristic, and utterly useless at the moment. CEO Charles Redding stood with his arms crossed, eyes sharp and jaw clenched. "You told me this thing would be airborne today." He snapped at the lead engineer, Dr. Levin. "We've hit a wall," Levin said. "The engine's rejecting fuel input. It's an internal systems conflict. We've tried everything." Charles rolled his eyes. "Everything. You've had years and billions. And now you're telling me the most advanced jet engine in the world is a glorified paperweight." Silence. The engineers looked away, ashamed. Pressure was building. The media wanted a demo flight in 72 hours. Investors were calling non-stop. The company's future was tied to this engine. "Clear the floor," Charles barked. "Everyone out. I need space to think." As staff filed out, someone lingered by the doorway. Emily Hart, a janitor on the night shift. Her mop rested against the wall, and her uniform was stained with oil and dust. She wasn't supposed to be there, but curiosity held her in place. Emily had overheard the engine troubles earlier while emptying trash bins. Most would have ignored the technical jargon, but Emily wasn't most people. Years ago, she had been a mechanical prodigy. She earned a full-ride engineering scholarship, but gave it up to care for her sick mother and younger brother after their father died. Now she quietly mopped floors and fixed broken light switches on her brakes. But engines? She understood engines. She stepped forward. "Excuse me, sir," she said, her voice steady. Charles turned, puzzled. "This isn't your department. Hangar's closed." "I know," Emily replied, "but I think I know what's wrong with the Falcon." Charles narrowed his eyes. "You think you know what's wrong with the most advanced engine on Earth?" She nodded. He almost laughed, but something about her confidence gave him pause. "All right," he said sarcastically, "tell me." "The core's not rejecting the fuel," Emily said. "It's rejecting the temperature. The fuel's overheating before ignition. The safety system cuts it off, so the engine doesn't fry itself." Charles blinked. That was accurate. "And what would you do about it?" he asked. "Route the fuel through a secondary cooling manifold," she said. "It'll delay ignition by half a second, but the fuel will stabilize." Charles stared at her. She was serious. "You're just a janitor." "I used to be more than that," Emily replied. He paused, then smirked. "Fine. Let's make it interesting. 1 hour. You try your fix. If it works, I'll give you a job in the engineering division. If it fails, you're out of a job." Gasps echoed from the few remaining staff. Emily's heart pounded. She needed this job. Her daughter depended on it, but deep down, she knew she could do this. "Deal," she said. Exactly 59 minutes later, the Falcon X9's engine came to life, not in a sputter or stall, but in a clean, powerful roar that filled the hangar with vibration and awe. Lights turned green on the console. Temperature stabilized. Fuel lines flowed smoothly. Emily wiped her hands with a rag, her cheeks smudged with grease. Charles stood, stunned. You actually did it." She handed him a rough sketch of the bypass she'd built from scrap tubing and an old cooling coil. "You shouldn't have been able to pull this off," he muttered. "But you did." He turned to his stunned engineers. "This woman just saved our launch." Then he looked back at Emily. "As of today, you're done mopping floors. Report to R&D first thing tomorrow." The hangar erupted in cheers. But in the corner, Dr. Levin watched silently, jaw tight and eyes cold. He didn't like being upstaged, especially by a janitor, and he wasn't about to let this go. The next morning, Emily walked into Aeronova's R&D lab, her janitor uniform replaced by a clean lab coat. Engineers whispered and stared. Some were skeptical. Others looked impressed. After all, the woman who cleaned their floors had just solved a problem that left the brightest minds in the company stumped. CEO Charles Redding greeted her with a firm handshake. "You earned this, Emily. Today, I want you in the simulation bay. Run diagnostics on the cooling manifold. If it checks out, we greenlight the demo flight tomorrow." "Yes, sir," she said, already thinking 3 steps ahead. The lab felt like home. She worked with quiet precision, running simulations, adjusting variables, tweaking fuel ratios. By noon, her fix had passed every test. The cooling manifold not only worked, it improved overall fuel efficiency by 12%. But as she finalized the report, she noticed something strange. Someone had altered the schematics. Her design was replaced with a faulty version, one that would trigger an overload if installed. Her heart skipped a beat. Only senior engineers had access to those files. Someone had tried to sabotage her. She rushed to Charles's office. "Someone's tampering with the engine files," she said urgently. "If that version gets installed for the demo, it could explode on ignition." Charles frowned. "Are you sure?" "Positive. It's not my layout, and it's dangerous." He picked up the phone. "Get Dr. Levin in here, now." Minutes later, Levin entered, calm and composed. "Did you alter the engine schematics?" Charles asked bluntly. Levin raised an eyebrow. "Of course not. Why would I?" Emily stepped forward. "Because you don't like that I outsmarted you. You tried to sabotage the demo to discredit me." Levin's expression tightened. "That's a serious accusation, from someone who was cleaning toilets a week ago." Charles glanced between them. "We'll let the system decide." He ordered a full audit of the file logs. Within minutes, the truth was revealed. Dr. Levin had accessed the schematics under a secondary admin code, trying to mask his identity. "You lied," Charles said, standing. "You risked our entire launch to protect your ego." Levin scoffed. "You're choosing her over a 10-year veteran." "I'm choosing results," Charles replied. "Security will escort you out. You're done here." Levin stormed out, humiliated. Emily exhaled, relief washing over her. "Now," Charles said, turning to her, "how soon can we get the real version of your cooling system installed?" "Already did it," she said with a smile. "It's ready for flight." The next day, demo flight. Crowds gathered outside the Aeronova test runway. Investors, reporters, military officials. The Falcon X9 stood tall, its new engine gleaming in the sunlight. Inside the control room, Charles stood beside Emily as final checks came in. "All systems go," the pilot reported. "Engaging engine in 3, 2, 1. The Falcon roared to life. This time it didn't choke, stall, or shut down. It lifted off the ground with perfect stability, accelerating into the sky with unmatched precision. Cheers erupted from the crowd. In the control room, engineers high-fived. Cameras flashed, investors stood and clapped. And at the center of it all stood Emily Hart, the former janitor who rewrote the rules. Charles turned to her. "How does it feel?" She smiled, eyes misty, like I finally remembered who I really am. 1 week later, Emily sat in her new corner office overlooking the test fields. A photo of her daughter sat on her desk. The nameplate on the door now read, "Lead Systems Engineer, Emily Hart." Charles entered with a folder. "NASA called. They want you to consult on their new hybrid engine." Emily blinked. "Me?" He grinned. "You're the best mind we've got, and don't worry, your daughter's daycare is covered." She laughed. "Looks like mopping floors had its perks." He nodded. "Sometimes the brightest stars are hidden in the darkest corners. You just needed a chance to shine."